Hello, folks.
Hi, Carl.
Hi, Carl. Hi, Tom.
Hello, how are you, Sheila?
Summer's
Okay.
coming.
So they keep saying.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our live coverage on the Township's YouTube channel of Douro-Dummer's council meeting here on the 3rd of May, 2022. It is live and, of course, being recorded for those of you wishing to watch the meeting at a later date. And we will have a very expedient meeting tonight, and I don't expect it to be awfully long, so we'll get right to business. I'm going to call the roll, please, if you'd indicate your presence. Deputy Mayor Moher.
Here.
Thank you. Councillor Watt.
Present.
Councillor Landsman.
I'm here. Thank you.
And Councillor Watson.
I too am here.
And staff who are with us, our CEO, Alana Arthurs. Alana, thank you. Our clerk, Martina Jade Hartwig, is also here. And Brian Fawcett, our chief building official. Brian, I believe you're in the background, should you be required to comment. So thank you. So with the meeting, with everyone in attendance, I'll call the meeting to order at 5 o'clock here on this 3rd of May. And we respectfully acknowledge that we're on the treaty and traditional territory of the Mississauga and Anishinaabe, and we offer our gratitude to the First Peoples for their care for and their teachings about our earth and our relations, and may we honor those teachings. Okay, a very sad moment indeed for everyone in our community of Douro-Dummer. It's with a great deal of sadness that we announce the passing of Eric Batten. Our sympathies go out to his family and his many friends. Eric was deputy reeve of the Township of Dummer from 1991 also to 1997. Then he was reeve of the newly amalgamated Township of Douro-Dummer from 1998 to 2006. And throughout that time as well, he was a very active member of Peterborough County Council. Our sympathies to Dorothy and all Eric's family and friends. Our flags are at half-mast at the Township office. May we all join in a moment of silence. Thank you. We shall remember him. Is there any pecuniary interest with any of the matters we're dealing with today? Seeing no hands. A motion, please, to adopt the agenda of the meeting tonight. Heather and Sheila, all in favor? Motion is approved. A motion, please, to adopt the minutes of the April 19th meeting. Tom? And a seconder, please. Sheila, all in favor? That motion is approved. Item 7 is the consent agenda. A motion, please, to receive that consent agenda. Carl? And Sheila?
I have a comment on one of the items.
If you'd care, we'll leave that to item 12. What one, please?
7.1.
7.1 will be dealt with under item 12. Okay. All in favor? Motion is approved. Okay, delegations, petitions, presentations, and public meetings. Dan Murinaw is our special guest today. There he is, the smiling face from the Autonomy Region Conservation Authority. Dan, you're always welcome here at Douro-Dummer, and I know you've announced your retirement, and I certainly congratulate you, but it's a few months off. And I'm hoping maybe you and I can find a park bench and feed the pigeons together, perhaps, at some point. That will be very nice. Anyway, Dan, I'll turn it over to you with your update. So please go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship, and members of council. Thank you for the opportunity this evening. We passed along our annual report recently, and in that package, I believe you have a copy in your agenda. And in that package, we also had.
I don't believe we're hearing you very well. Is it just me, or is everyone else the same? Same? Okay. Yeah, just maybe a technical issue here, Dan?
How's that? Is that any better?
Not a lot, no. Are you close to your computer?
Oh, I'm almost on top. Let me do something else here.
Okay. Maybe one of the pigeons took the microphone and flew away with it.
Could be. How's that?
Not much better, no. Just try to raise your voice as much as you can, and we'll try to hold on and hear you.
Okay. Oh,
There's some setting somewhere that's just not cooperating.
right. Okay, well, I think I lost the visual here. Do you hear me now?
Very lightly, very lightly.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try again. How's that?
That's a little better. Go ahead. I think we're okay there.
Okay, we're gonna almost shout then. Again, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. I want to just do an overview of our annual report. We produce one every year at this time, and it's in your agenda package for you to review it in detail. It's always for me, it's always important to take a look at an annual report in light of the objectives you set for yourselves the previous year. So back in the fall of 2020, we were into the pandemic for maybe 6 months. We tried to anticipate and understand what 2021 would bring, and we set out our priorities. Our first priority, obviously, was the health and safety of our staff and our customers and clients, and in our ability to deliver our services in a different way. Our second priority was within that context of making adjustments and adopting new methods and techniques. We thought we were hoping to deliver our full work plan. Then following that, we wanted to make a push on customer service and provide more timely response to getting a permit from ORCA. And finally, the board had approved a climate change strategy, and we set out a 3-year work plan, and we wanted to make some significant progress in our first year and be able to report that to everyone at this time. So that was kind of the overview and the direction we headed down. So how did we do? Well, first of all, I think we kept ourselves safe and we kept our customers safe. We adopted different procedures and practices in running our campgrounds and doing customer service. We employed in a more significant way technologies. We can receive applications now for work permits, for camping permits, for permissions to hunt on our land, all of that electronically, and issue them all electronically. We increased our use of our social media platforms, and we're seeing, like, in an annual basis, we're getting over 100,000 visitors to our website. So these are big numbers for us, and we're certainly reaching out to a broader audience and probably a new audience in some ways. We undertook our work program. We actually saw year-over-year increases in the number of permits, planning files, camper visitors, day use visitors. Our permits increased by 25% from the previous year. So everyone was busy out there doing projects, and we had to keep up with them, much like your building officials had to keep up with the customers and the rate players in your municipality. I mentioned we published a climate change strategy, and we've reported on some of the accomplishments in that. We had a fair year or normal year for flood and drought. We issued 16 messages in the flood season, and I think we had two messages, about 3 months in total of low water conditions. We saw a bit of a bounce back for student participation in our learning programs, some on-site activities like tree planting, shrub planting, and cleanup activities. And so that was great. That was that was good to be able to host young people outside doing things. So that was really great. So I think so that's where we're at and we also did some dam repairs at the Warsaw Dam. I can tell you that our costs came in within $2,000 of our budgeted value and to the surplus. And the surplus is being used this year to put in the last of the public safety measures, which include some signs, one of those throw rings that you put out into the water if somebody falls in. So some of those safety apparatus will be installed later this spring, and they would be spent out. So that's good. But we're pleased with the work that was done there with the contract we had, and I think it tidied things up quite a bit. To me, the repairs at Warsaw Dam are similar to every 2 decades you might want to change a bathroom or redo your kitchen. I think we just redid our kitchen at the Warsaw Dam. So that's that. For this year, we hope to do some work on some of our recreational facilities, a new washroom in the camping ground area at Warsaw Caves, some significant refurbishment on the Jackson Creek Trail, a new washroom at Selwyn Beach, and some yard work, parking lot work, and some shelters and washrooms at the Harrowtown Conservation Area. So some significant work there. We launched a fundraising campaign in 2021. In 4 weeks, we raised just about 4 to 5 weeks, we raised just about 23,000, and we're still seeing some revenue coming in. Obviously, to get this work done, we need some larger grants. We have some applications out there and some preliminary encouraging indications. So we'll wait for the final decisions and the announceables on that. I think that's where I'm going to stop right now. I think we had a fairly good year. We want to thank the township staff for their support and assistance in the work at the Warsaw Dams, in the work and the assistance you always provide in our operation at Warsaw Caves Conservation Area. And I'll throw it back to you, Mr. Your Worship, for any comments from council, questions.
Thank you very much, Dan, for that. And we will indeed turn it to council members. Carl, I'll let you start as our representative on the Conservation Board, if you would like to make your comments first.
Sure, thank you. We're going to miss Dan at Township Conservation. He's been a big force for a number of years, accomplishing many things. I think one of the things, he mentioned grants there, but he's been very successful over the years getting maximum grants for all kinds of projects, including the Millbrook Dam and so on. And I'm sure the replacement of the Millbrook Dam, even though it's not a requirement to be there, Millbrook would not be the same without the dam. And recognizing that, we found a process to get that done. And that's going to be, I'm sure, a very proud legacy of Dan, because I think we fought and chewed about it for probably 20 years before Dan came on the scene. But it was, it's there now, and it's a very proud structure in the downtown village of Millbrook. The other thing I'd like to just highlight is another major thing that's going to affect our planning staff and so on is Dan was successful in getting some major grants to upgrade the Mead and Curtis Creek watershed water maps and flood maps. And I think the Mead Creek and the Curtis, well, the Curtis does in Douro-Dummer, but I think the Mead goes into Douro-Dummer as well. So that has will be a lot easier for some of the planning people that are dealing with applications and so on. And of course, all that information is online as well for people. So thanks, Dan. I'm sure there'll be more thank yous at the board level, but I just want to, in front of our council, demonstrate that we will miss you big time.
Thank you. Good, Carl. Okay, questions to Dan on his report. Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much for the for the report, Dan. Definitely going to be missed. You've done a great job. So I have a comment and a question, actually, but I'll go with the comment first. Over the years, Orca's kind of got hit pretty hard with bad a bad name and all the problems that they got, but you've really turned that around. I mean, there's still probably always going to be work to be done. Nobody's ever going to be 100% satisfied. So but you've done a great job on that, and I really do commend you for that, because you doing that has helped us tremendously getting through things. So thank you very much for that. My comment or my question is relating to the money spent here. The dam in Warsaw is right in my backyard. So of course I walk, the dog, and see that process. And I went in and talked to the guys getting it done. So I got they were doing a great job. Did we also get work done at the back dam? Because I'm not up that way very often.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for your comment. Yes, we got a little bit of work done at the back end. One of the ends of the retaining walls was actually cracked. And what we were trying to do is simply get it pulled together and, with some epoxy and taped together, basically. But they actually chipped it away, sunk in some doweling into the limestone base and reset a corner of the retaining wall and then backfilled it. So the back dam retaining wall has no defects in it at this point, and it's sound and it's good till the next time we want to redo that kitchen. So we're in good shape. But thank you for your first comments.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Sheila. You're muted, Sheila.
Sorry. Thank you, Dan, and best wishes on your retirement. Just a quick question. You made a comment about a washroom or a kitchen at the Warsaw Dam being repaired. Where is that located?
Sorry, no, that was at Warsaw Caves. It's a new, we're gonna replace.
Oh, okay. No, because it had said at the Warsaw Dam, and I wasn't sure. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Final comment from Heather. Go ahead.
Your Worship, thank you. Through you. Dan, no questions, just best wishes on your retirement. Whoever your successor is will have big shoes to fill. The work under your leadership has been a well-run organization, and you're very well respected within the community. And I know whoever is going to be coming into that role will have a lot of work to do to continue with the momentum that you've built over the last number of years.
Thank you, Counselor. My daughter reminds me it's not about the size of the shoes, it's the height of the heel that you should be worried
Good
about.
point. Very soulful comment, Dan. Very soulful.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And Dan, all the best to you. I know you still got a lot of work to do before you do feed those pigeons, but thanks for everything you've done and you do. Could I have a motion, please, to receive that presentation? Carl and Sheila, all in favor? That motion is approved. Thank you, Dan. You can take the rest of the night off now.
Thanks very much. Bye now.
No problem. Moving to item 9, other business and staff reports. 9.1, the supply of culverts, a Public Works report. Alana, did you need to mention anything about this?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, just the recommendation is just to approve the purchase of the culvert pipe from Untitled. Straightforward.
Okay. A motion, please, to follow the recommendation. Tom? Seconder, please. Heather, all in favor? That motion's approved. 9.2 is just notifying you of the purchase of the mower for rec facilities. A motion to receive that report. Sheila, Heather, all in favor? That is approved. Our annual building department report, 2020 and 21. I believe Brian is on the line if you have any questions. I believe we're just going to receive it, but Brian's here. Should anyone have a question? Okay, no questions. Must mean you're doing your job, Brian. Carl, go ahead.
Yeah, just one question. Of the 300 closing balance for 2021, how much of that is going to be used for the renos in the lower level at the township office there?
I would have to, through Your Worship, to Deputy Mayor Moher, I'd have to confirm the capital budget allocation for that amount, but I believe it was either 135 or 145,000.
Okay, that's close enough for me. And
Okay.
one further question. I noticed the staffing is showing as 44,004 in 2020 and then down to 11,600. Wouldn't the staffing be much higher? Include everyone?
Through Your Worship, Deputy Mayor Moher's question on that, the staffing in 2021 was moved from an indirect cost to a direct cost. When our administrative assistant that was allocated on a half-term basis in 2020 was then moved as an indirect to a direct cost to be added directly to the payroll for the billing department. That's why it shifted. The amount was the same, but it moved to a different category.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carl. Motion then to receive that report. Oh, sorry, Martina, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, just to council, when you receive this report, if you could also approve the movement of the monies to reserve as well.
Okay, that would be indeed part of the motion, part of the recommendation. Sheila, you'll make that motion? Seconder, excuse me. Tom, all in favor? That motion is approved. Arena Facilities Future Ad Hoc Committee. Martina, I'll turn it to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the report that's before you has the recommendation that it be removed. It's regarding the Arena Facilities Future Ad Hoc Committee, and further that the terms of reference which are attached to the report be approved and council appoint one member to sit as the chair of the committee. I'm happy to go into details, but this was from a recent council meeting direction. So we're just coming back with this so that council can move on with this project.
Okay, so this committee is going to operate for just a few months then.
That is correct. In the terms of reference, the committee is responsible for returning a report to council in August of 2022 with their ideas.
Okay, what is your flavor, Carl?
I have a couple of comments for the governance terms of reference, if that should be considered. I think it shows 3 members of Bureau Minor Hockey. I believe there's other community members should be included as well, because when both these institutions, both Warsaw and Douro, were placed, it was everyone was involved, and I would think we would be somewhat short-sighted without at least respecting our senior members of the community who have needs as well for our community centers. And I would like to see at least one representative from our community, from our seniors. And the other thing that I think should be in the governance is any press release. I think it's precedent in our township that any press release should not come from the committee, but should come from the mayor or the CAO. And that's the way we've always done it. And I think it's even in the code of conduct. It's somewhere anywhere that we follow that process. So if other members of council would agree with that, I'd like to move that we add those 2 items to the governance committee.
You're going to make that a motion then, Carl?
Yes, I would.
Okay, before I get a seconder, Martina, go ahead.
Just a quick question or comment to Deputy Mayor Moher through you, Mr. Chair. The committee is just supposed to report to council. There'd be no need for it to release any notices to the press or anyone else. It's just an ad hoc committee to provide some advice and overview to council on future direction. It doesn't have any operating ability. So
would committee members know that though, Martina?
That's why we're setting out a terms of reference. So it's very clear what activities this committee would be responsible for.
Go ahead.
My only point in raising that was that the Clintonia Park, I think there was a couple of news releases that didn't necessarily go through the mayor and go through the CAO. And I think we got to clearly indicate that the council representative that we're looking, if there's anything going to the press, it should be from one source.
Okay, Carl has a motion that he has made. Is there anyone willing to second the motion? A seconder to Carl's motion. Go ahead, Tom.
Yes, I'll second the motion, but I do have a comment and a
Go
question,
ahead.
please. Okay, a comment on it. Yeah, I don't have a problem with having a member of the outside community in this, whether it be a senior, whether it be a middle-aged, but someone that's not on the minor hockey, stuff like that, just for a perspective. And I guess I got a couple of questions. Is August quick enough? I know we only have one meeting in August, so it's kind of makes it, and this is already May. And my second question was, is this Councillor Watson the committee that you volunteered to be on? If so, then I would like to add that to the motion that we appoint Councillor Watson for that. But I need clarification on that one.
It's Carl's motion. If you've seconded Carl's motion. So if you need to make an amendment to that motion, so be it. Carl?
I would recommend that we just keep it a separate motion because I have a comment on that appointment of who goes on that committee as well.
Okay, Carl has a motion on the floor that's duly seconded. Is everyone familiar with the motion? Martina, do you want to outline it in case there's confusion?
Sure. So through you, Mr. Mayor, that the report that's before you be received, that the terms of reference for the committee be approved with the addition of a member of the senior citizen community, and further that the committee will not send out any press releases, and that council appoint one member to serve as the chair of the committee.
Okay, that's the motion. Is that what the seconder seconded? Okay, Sheila, speak to the motion, please.
No, sorry, I didn't realize there had been a seconder.
All in favor? That motion is approved. Okay. Now, continue on. Go, who's got their hand up?
Actually, I believe Watson did have.
It's down now. Did you change your mind, Heather?
No, Your Worship, I just had a question about the motion before I voted on it, but it's already passed, so it's fine. We can
Good. Okay.
carry on.
Any other comments then? Go ahead, Don.
Yes, I'd like to make a second motion then on this subject that we appoint Councillor Watson as she volunteered last council meeting to be the council representative for this.
Okay. Have a second to that motion? Sheila will second the motion. Discussion on the motion? Carl?
There's probably a number of things are coming into play here. We're on our last legs of our council, and I think this is a good initiative, and it should be done. Probably should have been done a few years ago. However, it's we're getting near the end of our mandate. Chances are that some of us won't be on the next council. Technically, all of us may not be on next council. So it may be premature. The other thing is, precedent in this township usually is we submit our names, and then if there's other people wish to volunteer, I think our mayor usually comes back at a subsequent meeting to present it to council to confirm the recommendation. I don't know whether that's in a procedural bylaw or in a former procedural bylaw, but we've always done it that way. So I'm just throwing those things out for consideration.
Madam Clerk, do you have anything to add to that?
Through you, Mr. Chair. That has been a practice, but there's no policy. One of the things that the clerk's department has been working on, in addition to the procedural bylaw, which we'll talk about shortly, is working through terms of reference for all of our committees so that we have a clear committee structure. So that's something we'll be bringing forward hopefully by the fall. But in the past, it's just been a practice, but there's never been a policy in place.
Okay, any other comment on the motion? Call for the vote, all in favor? Motion approved. Committee of the Whole. No, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. Procedural Bylaw Project. Martina.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. This is a report to council. It's dated May 3rd regarding the procedural bylaw review project. This is report number 6. Staff are requesting that the report be received and that the updated procedural bylaw be passed at the appropriate time during the meeting. It is listed on the agenda as bylaw 21, I believe. And there is background information, but hopefully we've talked about it quite a bit, so there shouldn't be too many questions, but I am happy to answer any that may exist.
Okay. Any questions? The bylaw will come up later under bylaws. Okay. Motion to receive the report then. Sheila, Tom, all in favor? That motion is approved. Committee minutes, other reports. Report capital project status, that is in your package. Any questions about that? Carl, go ahead.
Thank you. And this is a report that is much appreciated by myself and I'm sure other members of council. There's one item I'd like to see on this report, and that is future gravel resources for our township. I know we talked about possible expansion of the Dummer Ward line 6 or Dummer 6 line pit. And I think that should get on the committee, get on that report to make sure we don't lose sight of it, because we're running out of good gravel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Motion. Did we get a motion on the floor, Martina? Okay. Carl, and?
I'll move to receive it with the addition of that gravel resource.
Seconder, please. Sheila, all in favor? Motion approved. Police Service Board meeting of the 26th of January. Motion to receive. Tom? Heather, all in favor? Approved. Library Board meeting from the 8th of February is in your package as well. Motion to receive those minutes. Heather? No seconder? Sheila, all in favor? Approved. Committee of the Whole, April 12th. Motion to receive and approve those minutes, please. Sheila? Heather, all in favor? That motion is approved. Okay, now we go to bylaws and the procedural bylaw that I know Martina has put a lot of work in, and I would ask for a recorded vote on this, please.
Mr. Chair, just one moment while I prepare for the recorded vote, please. So through you, Mr. Chair, this is bylaw 2022-21 procedural bylaw. The document that's before you is based on the latest discussion that we had at the Committee of the Whole meeting. Just that was outlined in the report that Council just received. I'm happy to answer any questions. And when you're ready, I can, once there's a mover and a seconder, I'll call for a recorded vote.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, Sheila, did you want to make a comment before the vote?
No, she wanted a mover and receiver. I was going to move the bylaw.
Okay, Martina, you're going to... Okay, Sheila?
Yeah.
And a seconder then to that, and a recorded vote. Sorry. Seconder to that? Tom? Okay, Martina, go ahead.
Very good. Councillor at large, how do you vote?
In favor.
Dummer Ward Councillor, how do you vote?
In favor.
Douro Ward Councillor, how do you vote?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor, how do you vote?
No.
Mayor, how do you vote?
No.
The motion passes.
Okay, that motion is approved. Correspondent action items here tonight, and this is the consultation on floating accommodations. And I know Alana and Martina have both been on this, and I think, quite frankly, it has at this point little to do with the township, but Alana, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, we are watching just to see what information does come back. There's still some question about how they're defined from vessel to structure. So at this point, we don't have any direct involvement, but we will keep an eye on it as I know it seems to be becoming an issue even locally.
Okay. So staff are on top of it and they'll be keeping us informed. I think all we need to do is receive that report. Carl?
Just one other thing is the Peterborough County planning people are watching this like a hawk as well, because there's serious concerns that it may be opening up the lakes to all kinds of things. And so
Yeah.
I think it's worthwhile keeping a close eye on it.
A very close eye. I know a lot of people are concerned about this. Okay, a motion to receive, Sheila? Seconder, please.
No, I wanted to make a comment, if I may.
Let me get a motion on the floor
Okay,
first,
fine.
if that's okay. Seconder
ahead.
to that. Tom, go ahead, Sheila. You're muted, Sheila.
Don't know why I'm having trouble with it today. With regard to the comments about these floating accommodations, there have been a number of lake associations that have stepped up and sent in responses, and they are very concerned about them because of how they just move and drop anchor right in front of your property. So they're very into that and concerned about it as well.
Okay, the red flags are certainly up about that. The motion on the floor, all in favor? That is approved. Item 12.2 is a notice of a public meeting by the county on the official plan. Martina, do you want to say anything about that?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So at tomorrow county's council meeting, I believe it's tomorrow, there is a report before county council to receive a draft copy of the official plan document. If county council receives it tomorrow, then it will be posted publicly for the public to review and comment on. We will be bringing a report back to council for May 17th, just outlining some of the changes and the effect of the request that we had made previously in the spring about changes that the township wanted to see. But further to that, we will be having a public meeting, and the date is May 18th at 9:30. I know it's a very short timeline and we're all kind of struggling with the pace of this, but because we have to get it to the province by the end of June, July 1st, we are working with some very short deadlines here. So, but if you have comments or questions, please let me know, or I can help you send them to the county as well.
So it's May 18th at what time again?
9:30.
9:30. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can watch it through the county's YouTube channel if you just want to observe, or if you wanted to make a presentation, or you know someone who wishes to make a presentation as part of the public meeting, you'd want to contact Carrie, who's the clerk at the county, and I can help you with that as well.
Okay, any questions on the OP? Motion then to receive that information from Martina. Heather? Seconder, please. Tom, all in favor? That motion is approved. 12.3 is the formal request from Douro Minor Hockey to use the arena for the event that, of course, we're all fully aware of, and that is Hockeyville, and how Douro-Dummer are in the final throws, and we're hoping that everyone gets their vote in. Starting this Friday at 9 in the morning, you have until Saturday at 5, so please spread the word. So we need resolution to cooperate with Douro Minor Hockey and allow them to use the facility as they represent all of us on a national basis here. Just a wonderful, wonderful endeavor. So a motion, please, to permit them to use our facility. Sheila and Heather. Carl?
Just a question, were we successful in getting a big screen for the ice surface?
I haven't heard any more detail for a couple of days, but they've got a very active group of organizers, so I'm counting on them to lead the way here.
Good.
Yep.
Thank you. Good cause.
All in favor? Okay, let it be said, council was unanimous in allowing the facility to be used by the group, and we wish them all the luck. It is time to go into closed session.
No.
Martina?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, there's actually an item 7.1, which is the quarterly waste report that we had
Oh,
moved to
sorry,
this section.
Carl wanted to. That's right. I am totally sorry, Carl.
I
How foolish of me. Go ahead.
accept the apology. The report we have there's another report that we received at the county, and I just wanted to highlight the fact that Douro-Dummer is really doing well in the amount of waste that we're diverting compared to other townships in the Beaver County. We're number 2 out of the whole lot, and for garbage generation per capita for the year 2021 and previous years as well. So it's getting a lot of attention, and I know many of our residents, it's not easy sorting garbage, but they're doing it. So, and also the recycling, we're well represented in the amount going to recycling as well. So I don't know whether there's any opportunity to celebrate that in some fashion, whether it be a note on the website or whatever, but people should be recognized for their efforts here, because we went into the Clear Bag program in 2018. Many of you members of council will remember the famous town hall meeting in Warsaw, where some of the people weren't too happy. And I think many of those people have come on board and have seen the light, and we appreciate their support, because it is really extending the landfill site that we for many more years. And to this date, we still don't have the Peterborough City of on the clear bags, and they're probably more than 50% of the landfill stuff that's going in there every day. So I just want to highlight that we're leading the way in our footprint here as far as waste reduction.
Good. Thank you for that, Carl. Okay, I don't believe we need a motion for that, Martina. We're just receiving that from our previous motion. I'd like a motion, please, to go into closed session for the reasons outlined in the Municipal Act. Motion, please, to go into closed. Heather and Sheila, all in favor? That motion is approved. I'll give Martina the opportunity to stop the recording.
Mr. Chair, I think we went over the announcement part before closed.
Oh, okay. I thought, was there any other announcement you wanted to make?
We can do it after, I guess.
No, do it now. Let's do it now, and then we're
Is that
happy.
okay, Martina, have you?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we haven't voted on that motion to go into closed, so.
Okay, so you go ahead, Carl, and then we'll go back to the
Okay,
close.
I just want to highlight, last week, our Director of Public Works came out with a notice of Park Hill Road east from the Canal Bridge to TV Road to be down to 1 lane for a period of time. That's going to really inconvenience our businesses again this year.
Mhm.
I don't know what we're going to do with the city of Peterborough. It's just-in-time planning that consistently continues. I know at the county, a few years ago, we closed the airport road for the airport in about 60 days notice. And how that ever happened, we did it and it was done. The Canal Bridge was closed with 2 weeks or 2 months notice. And yet the city knew about it for 10 years prior. Why they couldn't have got this work done in Park Hill Road when the road was closed last year, I don't know. Like, I don't know whether the job couldn't be advanced or whatever. Certainly they can't do anything about the TV road. The TV road has to be done and so on. But when that road was vacant for close to a year, why there couldn't be some work done advanced at the city? And I don't know what we're going to do with them, but it's just in time planning that I'm glad we're not part of that process. It just seems to be, we're inconveniencing these businesses left, right, and center. That's my rant for the night.
Okay, and I guess, just speaking to the clerk, I guess to be official, rants like that should probably be on the agenda. The announcements are meant for telling everybody about a yard sale. So in future, if you do want to get into a serious subject, please have it on the agenda so that everyone is aware of the information that is coming forward. Motion to go into closed session has been made. I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor? Okay, we're going into closed session for the reasons outlined in the Municipal Act. We'll pause for a moment for Martina to stop the recording, and then we'll be back on.